All right, understandably so. How's summer going for y'all? Good, good, good. Awesome. All right, so before we get service started, we're going to go over what we did last Saturday. Now, last Saturday, we didn't exactly have a service project. However, some things were going on behind the scenes. So last Saturday, a couple members of the staff here went over to the Life Center, and we went and got our CPR license. Yes, we got our CPR license. So, with that, members of the staff here that come regularly, that have their CPR license, officially is Minister Bernie, Miss Lady, me, Darissa. Can you wave your hand so everyone sees you? Yeah. And then Janae. All right? So that's just good to know, future reference. Hopefully nothing will ever have to be used, but just good to know. All right? So with that, we're going to go ahead and get service started. Let me tell you about me. Not press easy, cause never in a place. My God, don't rain. No way, no way. HGA to the grave. Gave on himself. All I wanna do is give on me, on me, on me, on me. Struggling. Oh, I've been struggling. My idols are mimicking Jesus. I buried my sin in 3 days. It's back up again. In the beginning, we will give anything. Value for ministry, missions, and bigger things. You can take everything. You just give me the king. But the fire faded. I just want to retire my savings. Are you the safest? Wonder we're loving you or had enough of you? Who's in more danger? The persecuted or the comfortable? Give us a crown. You can hold on to them thorns. I don't want them anymore. Nobody will suffer no more. Only see things that will end with the flaws. Don't live for no one except for the Lord. No moss. You were too good to be throwing your cross. I'm at the cross. Do what you want.
Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior.
Stay on top, huh? Become the servant of all. If you the servant of all, no competition involved. Cause who's knocking you off? There's no one left to fall. Progressing with the flow, that's a little one. As I'm sure you're messing little puns. I'm sure yeah, the sentiment is feeling come still shining from Jack for every nickel son. There's no way I'ma die slow. No way I'ma die slow. Won't break, I will not fall. Catching my torch, not my soul. I got blindfold in and out of time zones. I'm in my zone, put it up in your mind phone. Leave your mind alone. Looking for a rival. I can see him right now on the white horse. Looking like OJ in a Bronco. And I'm running with that flow. Flight snake, respect the stronger. Higher there I go with grace. Everything below is smaller. I Gotta steward this well. He holds my airways. I breathe with a heavy flow. Forevermore. Yeah, I'm willing and able, like I'm sitting in the exit row. I gotta make an exit though. What would they remember though? How I was born, how my metaphors. Yeah, I was standing in truth and I was so strong. Bring it, they could throw violence. Sit in the back, grinning like Joe Biden. He rules the ocean beside him. To be frank, no ocean I won't dive in.
Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without water. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. And take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior.
Lord, thank you once again, God, for being here, God. God, you are God. Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you once again, God, for us being here, God. God, you are a good God, and God, we love you, God. And as I pray, amen. Amen.
Psalm 71, verse 23. My lips shall greatly rejoice when I sing unto thee, and my soul which thou hast redeemed.
Been so good, he been so good, good. He's been so good. He's been so good, he been so good, he been so good to me. He's been so good.
You are so beautiful, here in your holiness. Lord, I want nothing less, so I let my heart confess. You are so beautiful, before your majesty. You showed me love when all I felt was tragedy, and that's why I'm glad to sing.
You're so beautiful, everything you do is so unusual. You snatched me straight out that funeral. I can't wait to see your eyes one day. I've been thinking about it, and it's a blessing just to think that I can think about it. I know some people inside and so they drink about it, but for the cup I drink from will never run. It's
That's what life on. As for life is, he said, girl, this is lifelong. Holy Spirit driven, had to learn to keep the brights on. Put God in boxes, he in shack with some tights on. Had to loosen up the grip of the python. I shed skin, new hymns I got Christ on. Here in your holiness, Lord, I want nothing less, so I let my heart confess. You are so beautiful, before your majesty. You showed me love when all I felt was tragedy, and that's why I'm glad to sing.
As I'm sitting on this plane, could be my last breath, but I ain't scared of death, cause I got my God in me. And if I die today, I know he did his job with me, and I still lift up your name, cause you are so beautiful.
Here in your holiness, Lord, I want nothing less, So I let my heart confess. You are so beautiful before your majesty. You showed me love when all I felt was tragedy. And that's why I'm glad to sing. Here in your holiness, Lord, I want nothing less. So I let my heart confess. You are so beautiful before your majesty. You showed me love when all I felt was tragedy. And that's why I'm glad to sing. God has been,
He's been so good.
All my life I've been carried by grace. Don't ask me how, 'cause I can't explain. It's nothing short of a miracle. I'm here. I've got some blessings that I don't deserve. I've got some scars, but that's how you learn. It's nothing short of a miracle. I'm here. I think it over and it doesn't add up. I know it comes from above. I've got miracles on miracles, a million little miracles. Miracles on miracles, count your miracles. 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't even count them all. You held me steady so I wouldn't give up. You opened doors that nobody could shut. I hope I never get over what you've done. I wanna live with an open heart. I wanna live like I know who you are. I hope I never get over what you've done. It's not coincidence and it's not luck. I know it comes from above. I got miracles on miracles, a million little miracles. Miracles on miracles, count your miracles. 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't even count them all. Miracles on miracles, a million little miracles. Miracles on miracles, can't even count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even count them all. I can't even count them all. I can't even count them all. I try and I can't keep up. I can't even count them all. I can't even count them all. I can't even count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even count them all. Like you heal my mother. I can't even count them all. You redeem my father. I can't even count them all. Even in the death of my brother. I can't even count them all. You are closer than no other. I can't even count them all. You broke my chains. I can't even save my life. You set me free. I can't even victory. Count them all. I can't even count them all. I can't even count them all. You kept my mind. I can't even count them all. You healed my body. I can't even count them all. I can't even count them all. I'm sorry and I can't even count them all. 'Cause every day there's a new miracle. I can't even count them all. I got breath in my lungs. I can't even count them all. I got clothes on my back. I can't even my mother would say, I got food on my table. I can't even count them all. Lord, I know that you're able. I can't even count them all. Say, I can't even count them all. I can't even count them all. I can't even count them all. Too many to count. I can't even count them all. I've got miracles on miracles, a million little miracles. Miracles on miracles, count your miracles. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even count them all. Miracles on miracles, a million little miracles. Thank you, Jesus, for the miracles on miracles. Count your miracles. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even count them all. Can't even count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even count them all. Every day there's a miracle. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even count them all. Last time, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even count them all.
Amen. Amen. It's summertime. Turn me down a little bit. All right, y'all. So y'all remember last week a little bit, right? Just a little bit. You learned a little bit about me last week, but I hope that we all started to learn a little bit about ourselves. Just a smidgen. Because I know, there's a little bit of that in this room today. Gotta get amen. This was you guys leaving me out to dry again, like I said before, on the altar cook-off. Y'all was stretched out, right? Not paying attention to anything in the world that was going on because it was the Saturday after the last day of school and you wasn't trying to have it. So, y'all left me out to dry. And I feel you. What is it that you guys were coming out of, though? It's coming out of rushing to wake up, right? To rush to school. And so, your triumphant war of all year, all school year, was over. It was over. And for those that don't feel like this, what that lets me know is you ain't put no work in all year. Because if you put work in all year in school, you know it was a struggle. Right? You know that this was you on June 3rd. It wasn't nothing that was going to wake you up and take you out of your peace and relaxation of no longer dealing with school. Right? And we talked about last week how in that I realized, right, that that I had not told you guys about me, right? And that laziness, right? And that bit of, what is the word I'm looking for? Oh, man. There's a very specific word that we are all living for some reason when we're young. It starts with an R, then an E, then a B, then an E. Rebellion. Right? And because of that, I had to do what many of you guys pray you never have to deal with, which was summer school. See, I know for a fact that if it wasn't for COVID, some of you would have had to do summer school. I could be real with y'all. Don't look around at parents. They're not, nobody judging you. But you would have, right? And so I talked to you guys last week about summertime 99, right? And the fact that I had to go to summer school, right? And I had to go to summer school for two subjects, really, that I never should have had to go to summer school for because I placed in the 99th percentile on standardized testing. But the reason why I had to go to summer school is because of this woman, right? Y'all remember? This Nigerian nun named Sister Unchina, right? No? What is it that Sister Unchina seen in me that she said, no, I'm going to fail him, and he's going to have to go and do this the hard way? What did she see, y'all? You just heard what your sister said. She saw potential, right? And that's what I'm praying, right? That ultimately you guys understand your own potential. But we're going to get into this even more, right? Because it wasn't just potential. It was the fact that she knew nobody held me accountable. Like, you can have the greatest parents in the world, right? You truly can. And to a point, they will keep you accountable. But they're not with you all day, every day, right? And the worst parts about it is the fact that if you're really good, like I was, man, you can make sure they don't find out anything about what's going on in school. If you're good. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead. It's okay, bro. Right? And because she wanted to hold me accountable, I had to go to summer school, right? But I had to go to summer school at literally one of the worst places I could have ever gone to summer school at, which was Fairleigh Dickinson High School. Why? Because at Fairleigh Dickinson High School, they brought in all the kids around the entire city to summer school, right? Because they're not expecting that a bunch of kids are going to flunk and have to go to summer school. It should be a very small percentage. So they take all the kids in the entire city and they send them to 2, maybe 3 places for summer school. They gave me a choice. I said, I ain't going to Snyder. Now, Snyder was actually a high school that was literally 4 blocks from my house. But remember how I showed you guys the shootouts last week? Right? Those shootouts was at least once a month at Snyder. Beyond that, at Snyder, the actual graduation rate was like 68%. Why? Because them kids were bad, y'all. I mean, bad, a different kind of bad, you know? Like, literally, a good quarter of the kids that were female, pregnant, or drop out by senior year. A good quarter of them. More than half of the boys, it seemed like, were dropouts, drug dealers. Literally, dude, bad. Like, bad. So, there's no way in the world, I don't care how close that was to my house, there's no way in the world I was going there. You got me? Like, y'all think y'all schools are rough at times. Y'all be like, yo, West is bad. Nah, West ain't bad, y'all. No, West is literally, in Jersey City, that would have been like a school you pay to go to. Okay? So, immediately, I was regretting this decision when I realized I had to go to summer school. I had to face my mother, I had to face my father, and tell them, hey, y'all, I know you spent that $3,000, but you wasted your money. So, we went through this last week on that point in which I realized I got to go, right? And my parents realized I had to go. So this is part 2, y'all. Part 2. And it starts again with Sister, somebody say Unchina. Unchina. Literally, the only African American nun in the entire school. The entire school, the only African American nun, and the only person that was willing to fail me. Why did she fail me, though? Well, she failed me because I did 20% of my homework, I barely passed any of the tests, and I wasn't present. I wasn't at school. So, can you really blame her for failing me? The real question is, why did the other teachers pass me? Right? All right. So, I'm going to let you guys, let's get into this. Let's get into this. Because this is really where it really gets tough. You ready? All right. She saw the potential. Somebody say potential? Potential. Say it again. All right. I wanted the chance to become someone else. So I went to school where I had no friends. I had no one that knew me, right? But this is the thing. Anybody got school friends? Right? Yeah. Like some of you had school friends that you invited here, and they're here now because they're your school friends. Right? There's something about school friends. Like, no matter how close you get, there's still a barrier. You guys notice that? Like, you could talk after school and everything, but they still know you to a point. It's when you allow that world to, like, intermingle with your other worlds, right? Anybody notice that you have 3 worlds? I got 3 worlds of friends too at times, right? And so do you guys. Let me show you. So you have your school friends, right? And she's like, I don't know why I allow Sincere in here. Sincere? Then you have your church friends, right? Anybody got church friends? Nobody got church friends? Dang, y'all ain't even friends, huh? Goodness gracious. Anybody had your church friends world intermingle with another world, like your school world, and you're not really happy that it happened? That ever happened to you? Let me show you somebody it happened to, right? You see her? You see her? You see Laura? Right? Let me tell you, this past week, right? Laura came home from summer camp, right? And I said, buddy, how was summer camp? And she said, Bastion was bad. Bad. I said, dude, I'm not asking you about Bastion. Sit down. I'm not asking you about Bastion. I'm asking you, how was summer camp? Did you enjoy it? Because it was supposed to be a program about getting better at reading, right? And I asked her over and over again, and she kept telling me about Bastion. I'm like, dude, nobody asked you that. I asked you about you. But this is the thing, right? When when you interchange worlds, right? What ends up happening is people that knew you in one way now know you in another, and now you can't be this other person because they know you here. And so what ends up happening in your mind is the worlds collide, and Bastion was probably running around acting straight up crazy, and Laura's like, you need to sit down, you need to sit down. But Laura, that wasn't your world to check-ties her. This is your world to check-ties. Right? You don't know, right? I feel you, right? I feel you. But then there's your neighborhood friends, right? Yeah. 3 different worlds, right? When you're growing up, I had these 3 different worlds too, right? But for me, the problem with summer 99, Jesus, the problem with summer 99 is that to protect those that are out there, the innocent, and the best interests of the story, I've changed names because these people are still alive. But my friend Darren, right? This dude was about 3 years older than me, right? But he was my neighborhood friend. You see where I'm coming from? And this dude had the flyest clothes. When I tell you the flyest clothes, he had Jordans. When you walk into his room, it's Jordans everywhere. Everywhere. Y'all don't remember that. Y'all don't know anything about this, but he had academic jeans, $115, $120 jeans. He had them laid out, pressed. His mama pressed his pants. Like, this dude was fly. Fly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Right? The very best sneakers. The very best shoes. Right? But even more so than that, back in that day, this ninja had phone game. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, like phone game. This was a bad dude, yo. You know what I'm saying? So I was usually wingman to a dude that was 3 years older than me. You see where I'm coming from? You know what I'm saying? But the dude could also sing and dance. Could you imagine that? It's like being best friends with Usher. You don't know who that is? Did he give me anything? He got me summer school. What you mean, did he get me anything? We're going to get to that point of the story. Because this is a part of the story where when it came down to girls that was my age, this dude had the pick of the litter. They're cute, right? What you mean, no? I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to him. No? No? They look like raccoons too? Wow, this is a different age. This is a real different age. Because back in my day, this dude, he could have them. Right? As soon as he got on the phone with them, and then they seen him, it was over. It was over. It was over. And I was literally a spectator, you know, like the wingman. But you know what's funny about the wingman? They make the jokes. They're the clown to draw the attention to the group. But they never actually succeed, right? When July 12th, 1999 came around, right? I make my journey down the hill where we lived to get on a bus, right? To get on a bus. I make this journey down the hill. I had to take public transportation to go to summer school, right? Now, as I get to the back of the bus, who's there? Darren's there. I'm like, bro, what you doing? You going to work or something? Right? He like, nah, man. What you doing? I'm like, man, I got to go to summer school. He like, you got to go to summer school? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you? I'm like, yeah, I got to go to summer school. Your mama know you got to go to summer school? I'm like, yeah, my mama know I got to go to summer school. Yeah. And I'm having this realization that we're on a bus to the same place when his high school was 4 blocks away. But he took the same route that I did, because even in the place that he went to on a regular basis, he did not feel safe enough to go back there for summer school. That's tough. In that moment, it let me know that there was a real sacrifice that my parents made to make sure that I was in a safe environment and went to school. That the dude that goes to the same school, he wouldn't even go there for even summer school, and that was his school. But he had the flyest clothes. He had the flyest sneakers. Dude, if you walked into this dude's room, at least $30,000 worth of clothes inside the room. So why didn't he go to a private school all of that time? In that moment, I realized, dude, I was doing something wrong this whole time. Because while he was caught up in looking good and being fly, I got caught up in trying to look good and hang out with him, to the point where we're heading in the same direction now, and it's not a place in where I would ever want to go. You ever been traveling along the same road with somebody and not mean to be going with them? And when you turn around, you look up, you're like, oh, yeah, dude, where we going? See, none of y'all got licenses. None of y'all old enough yet to be in a car with a friend that's driving. You have no idea where they're going. And to realize that they have control over the car and you don't. That's a scary situation, y'all. But let me tell you what was crazier about this situation, right? About Darren, that I realize now through the phone game If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. I had him to help me up, right? But what good is it if we both down? If you got nobody around that's helping to pick you up and push you forward, right? In every circle you're in, your school friends, your neighborhood friends, your church friends, where you have nobody you're comfortable enough to be real with to lift you up. It can put you in a position where I was. I just wanted to be this new person that was kind of cool, right? And no, that wasn't me. And I took the example of somebody that this dude was cool, right? Right? And so, looking back, I've been wondering, was my focus so far off back then that it took me realizing that we were going both in the same wrong direction, to realize it was wrong, right? The funny thing about focus, when you look through a telescope, is that it will give you the end, right? Like you're going to be looking at a lighthouse, right? And you see the lighthouse clear as day, right? But the thing about it is it does not give you the road there. That's the problem when you hyper-focus on anything. And for me, back then, I was hyper-focused on acceptance. And I know for whatever reason, we brush over it nowadays as if you guys are not stuck in trying to be accepted, right? But looking through a telescope to focus on something and someone doesn't allow you to see how that person got to where they are. See, for me, in that moment, when I focused on him, and I saw the dude got the flyest clothes, his mama press his clothes, dude, press his clothes, and then lay it up in stacks. I never wondered how he got there until I realized I'm finally where he's going. And that was to summer school, right? Serena Williams and Venus Williams, at that age, nobody could tell exactly where they were going, right? But there was hard work in it. At the age of 3 years old, that's when Serena started practicing, right? Beyonce, at 9, she started a group called Girl Time. At 9 years old. You guys knew that? Okay. The Jackson 5, you guys ever heard of them? Okay. Michael Jackson, all of them, right? Michael Jackson started at what age? Anybody know? Mm-hmm. And he started really, really perfecting his craft at a very, very early age, right? But the thing about all of these groups that I showed you is that every one of them had a strong father pushing them forward. Every single one. And what I realized today is that through all the fly clothes and everything else that he had, I had one thing that he did not have at that time. And that was a father that corrected. A father that corrected. A father that supported. A father that was an example. While I made him an example for me to live up to, he was actually trying to live up to an example of a father that was no longer present. His father passed away. Yeah. His father was actually one of the coolest dudes in all of Jersey City because he had money, he had women, he had clothes. This dude had it all. He had it all. I ain't gonna tell you how he got it, but he had it all. And while he was trying to chase that image of him, I was trying to chase this image of this dude. You ever wondered when you look at somebody and you say, man, I want to be just like that? You ever thought about who they were trying to be the whole time? You can say no. But when I was in that bus, heading to summer school for the first time in my life, the 99th percentile, in the same subject I'm going to summer school for, that was retarded, man. Bad word, I know. It was terrible. It really was. But what I didn't realize is that the entire time that my father had spent trying to mold me, that this young man did not have anybody truly molding him. Today, you guys, when your father tells you, yo, for young ladies, you're beautiful, they really mean it, right? But more so than that, what we're truly trying to do is hard carve you into who you truly are, who God showed us you are. For young men, when we say, yo, little man, you strong, you're smart, what we're trying to do is mold you into it so that no matter what actually comes up against, you know what your daddy said. See, we get caught up and get very churchy about how our Father in heaven and how Christ sees us. But sometimes for us, we got to get very, very, very plain about what it is to be loved by our dads. Because there's nothing like it. Bastion, you know your dad loves you, right?
Yeah.
You know that, right? This whole thing that we're going to experience this weekend, called Father's Day, right? I'm going to be straight up with y'all. It's disrespectful. You know why? Because Father's Day is the 14th most celebrated holiday out of all the holidays. 14th. I think I do better than 14. I think so. Danny, you do better than 14, sir. We do better than 14. You know what's crazy about that? Is that just 3 holidays away is Star Wars Day. How can we be that close to Star Wars Day? Seriously. I'm being a little comical on it, but we all have or had great fathers in our lives. And I'm asking you guys, have you actually thought about, because we get real hyped about what mama say about us, right? But what your father says about you that has actually shaped and molded you into who you are today. And if it hasn't, then we need to start looking at it, because maybe there's more to what daddy's saying that can help us even thinking back, right? He may not be with us now, but thinking back to what he said to us that really impacted us, or could have if we were willing to listen a little bit harder. Right? Mama, I love y'all. I love y'all. I do. I really do. But there is something about a father saying, you're beautiful. You're intelligent. You're brilliant. There's nothing like you. that just don't have the same impact as mama. It just don't. It don't. Why? Because a father is used to protecting so much and watching things that come from the outside so much that when a father says it, he's seen enough to be able to compare. But mama gonna love you regardless. Right? She'll lie to you. But daddy will be straight. He will. That's why I'm so hard on you guys. I'm straight up with you. You ever see me lie to you? No, I never will. I will hurt your feelings in a heartbeat. And the reason why is because if I hurt it here, they can't hurt you as much out there. So that's the thing about Star Wars Day. I had to go back to who I knew I was, right? My daddy was like, yo, man, you smart, dude. How you end up here? And I'm like, Dad, I don't know, man. I don't know, Dad. I'm so sorry. I didn't even get beat. Like, I was expecting to get beat. You know what I'm saying? $3,000. And I'm going to summer school. I expected to get, like, literally torn through that house. But in that moment, what my parents realized, and what I want our parents to realize as well, is that transition from middle school to high school, it is one of the most traumatic things a young person can go through. And I want you guys to remember this. I want you to remember this, what I'm telling you right now. Middle school to high school is unlike any other experience you'll ever have. Leah, am I wrong? Dizzy, am I wrong? And I want you guys to be prepared when we actually make this transition, each one of you, that you understand who you are now and understand there's work that you're going to have to do. And understand you got to stop changing your underwear. For real. Okay, think about this, right? You ready? What is the one piece of clothing nobody sees? What's that? Huh? What is the one piece of clothing that nobody sees on you? Your undies, right? Nobody sees your underwear, right? The same way nobody truly knows you except Christ, right? I mean, your parents have a very, very, very good idea. Don't get me wrong, parents. But we have to stop changing who we are in Christ every time we go from one circle to the other. Every time you come from one circle to the other, stop changing who you are under. Are you guys seeing that? Now, I want this example because every time you put your underwear on in the morning, you're like, oh my gosh, Mr. Bernie told me not to change them. Right? But it's a very, 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 I'm serious. No, change your underwear every day, seriously. But I'm talking about the under you. You guys know what I'm saying, all right? Yeah, you do. You better not come here and spell it with no underwear you had on the day before, all right? I'm just saying under the parts of you that people can't see should not be changed based on the group that you're in, right? And why? Because new levels, new devils. That's what we all say. You ever heard that? Ooh, new levels, new devils. Nobody heard that? Come on, y'all churchy folks, y'all know what I'm saying. Yeah, y'all with me, right? But we're going to say new levels, new demands, right? Because there's going to be new demands on you guys as you go from one grade to the next. What grade you going to next year? Fifth. You going to fifth grade? No, you not. She going to fifth grade? Oh my God. You going to fifth too? You going to fourth grade? You 7 years old. How you going to fourth grade? What grade you going to? Holy cow. Guys, as you're making these transitions, there's going to be new and stronger demands on you to do the work. You guys know that, right? The reason why I wanted to go over this lesson with you guys and not do it back to school, do it now, is because I think as of right now, you're more willing to actually receive it and retain it, as opposed to when the challenge was right in front of you and I bring it up. You guys like, Mr. Bernie don't know what he's talking about. But maybe, in the back of your minds, this will come back up. And when you're sitting in class, right? When you're sitting in class, how do I get the pictures? When you're sitting in class, you're starting to think about now, hey, seriously, yo, when you're sitting in class, when you go back months from now, I want you to really be thinking, I do not want to end up like Minister Bernie. I'm serious. That's why we had this lesson. And throughout the rest of this summer, we're going to work hard in our community. And when it's time to go back to school, we're just going to play these messages, right? On a back to school bash. Because I want us to make sure that when we go back in with the right mindset and prepared. In the same way that the four of them are sitting down in a college class, right? And literally, at that very moment, they were making fun of, who was y'all making fun of at that moment? Y'all was looking at? It was Bastion? Yeah. That was a safe space, right? Because you had people side by side that had your back. And I want you guys, I didn't even mean to put that in there, but this is on our last college trip, right? I want you guys to really think about, seriously, stop. I want you guys to really stop. Okay, let me move forward. One night, Dissy, read that. You have a mic with you? Okay.
Acts 18:9. One night the Lord spoke to Paul in a vision. Do not be afraid. Keep on speaking. Do not be silent. For I am with you, and no one is going to attack and harm you, because I have many people in this city.
Stop right there. Read that line one more time.
For I am with you, and no one is going to attack and harm you, because I have many people in this city.
Because I have many people in this city. You guys realize that in your school groups right now, there is kids that have that same love of Christ. You know that. And I think that sometimes, so often, we get caught up in trying to be cool, like I did. That we're okay venturing off into different crowds and different groups for acceptance. What I'm asking you guys today, I know. What I'm asking you guys today is that when you do go back, right, that you start to look for the people among you that God has for you. Man, we need some high schoolers to really receive that moment. What? So that was Summer 99 Part 2. I hope that truly, I really do hope that you guys were able to receive not the me part of it, right, as much, but really understand that there was more to it. There was more to how we look for acceptance. We fight for it and fight for it in the wrong ways and end up on some paths that we really shouldn't be on. And I don't want that for you guys. You got me? All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to eat. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is this? Goodness gracious. Savages. Goodness. Are you going to do freedom or what? This is rough. Step.
Freedom or stop?
Let's get some anthem freedom.
Take me from where I am into
Your promise.
land, guided by your great hand. Wherever you go, I'll follow. Break off my yesterday, praise for brighter days. Running with no restraints. Wherever you go, I'll follow.
Gone are the chains that were holding me. Gone is the person I used to be. Free from the fear by a perfect love. This is my exodus. This is my exodus.
No one can take away the future you have for me, yeah. There's still so much more to see. Wherever you go, I'll follow, yeah.
Gone are the chains that were holding me. Gone is
It's the person
I used to be. Free from the
you
fear
fear.
by a perfect love. This is my exodus. This is my exodus. Gone are the chains that were holding me. God is the person I used to be. Free from the fear by a perfect love. This is my exodus. This is my exodus. This freedom looks good on. Freedom looks good on you. This freedom looks good on. Freedom looks good on you. Hear you say this freedom looks good on. Freedom looks good on you. This freedom looks good on. Freedom
looks good on you.
say this freedom looks good on.
Freedom looks good
on
you.
This freedom looks good on. Freedom looks good on you. This freedom looks good on. Freedom looks good on you. This freedom looks good on.
Freedom looks good on you. 'cause freedom
looks good on. Freedom looks good on you.
gone are the
chains
that were holding me. Gone is the person I used to be. Free from the fear by your perfect love.
This is my exodus.
This is my exodus. Gone are the dreams that were holding me.
God is the person I used to be.
Free
from the fear
by your perfect love. This is my exodus. This is my exodus. Gone
are the chains
that were holding me. Gone is the person
I used
to be. Free from the fear
by your perfect love.
This is my exodus. This is my exodus. Gone are the chains that were holding me. Gone is the person
I used to
be.
free from the fear by
Your
perfect love. This is my
exodus.
This is my exodus. This is my exodus.
This is
my exodus. This is my exodus. This is my exodus. This is my exodus. This is my exodus.
Freedom. You.
Freedom looks good on you.
Try
Try it on.
it on.
Try it on.
Freedom looks good.
Freedom looks good on you.
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 Try it on.
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 Freedom. Let me live you. Oh, freedom looks good on you.
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 Freedom looks good on.
Freedom looks good on you.
Try it on.
Try it on.
Try it on.
Try it on.
Freedom looks good on.
Freedom looks good on you.
Never look better.
Freedom looks good on you.
Never look better. Freedom. Try it on. Try it on. Freedom looks good on.
Freedom looks good on you.
Freedom looks good on.
Freedom looks good on you.
Freedom looks good on.
Freedom looks good on
Try
you.
it on.
Try it on.
Try it
Try
on.
it on.
Never look better.
You never look better.
Never look better.
You never look better.
You never look better.
You never look better.
Try it on.
Try it on.
Try it on.
Try it on.
You never look better.
You never look better.
Lord, you never look better.
You never look better.
You never look better.
You never look better.
Try it on.
Try it on.
Try it on.
Try it on.
Oh. Let's say, oh.
Lift up the sound of freedom, sound of joy,
Sound of victory, sound of triumph. Lift up the sound, sound of freedom, a sound of joy,
a sound of triumph. It's the sound of victory.
A sound of freedom.
a sound of joy,
A sound of triumph.
victory,
A sound of victory.
yeah,
A sound of freedom.
yeah,
A sound of joy.
joy.
A sound of triumph.
Sound of victory.
A sound of victory.
Oh.
Hands lifted
from the fear by a perfect love. This is my exodus. This is my exodus.